Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today I'm going to talk about Tim Pool. I think it's a centrist outrage. But first, please consider donating to Devin's Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box, and the website is in the intro to this video. Click the link down there. Down there. GoFundMe link for Devin's Journey to Recovery. We don't have free healthcare, so we got to help each other out. And that is one way to do it. Devin's Journey to Recovery. Click that link. Alright. So in the past on this channel, we've had some people complaining about Tim Pool. And now I'm starting to see the bigger picture here with this guy. Before I thought he was just a non-combatant, wet noodle, lukewarm commentator on politics who sounds fairly ignorant and anti-SJW, anti-mainstream Democrats. But now he's moving towards shill territory, in my opinion. And I don't think I need to set this up too much. Here's the video. It's from Tim Pool. It says, it's Bill Maher's audience cheers after threats against Trump. Question mark, exclamation.
I feel like Bill Maher may be the last mainstream sane liberal. Okay, man.
Let me stop Tim right there. The last sane mainstream liberal.
Sure. Or what I think this guy might be doing. I don't put it past him to start a war and mix it up with Russia just to make people think, oh, I guess there is no collusion.
So, Bill Maher going with the whole Trump-Russia scenario, all the way to the extent of Trump will fake attack Russia or fake go against Russian interests in order to stave off the accusations of Russian collusion. That is from Bill Maher's mouth. So, once again, in Tim Pool's lens, Bill Maher, one of the most credible liberals in the mainstream. Let's continue.
That's not true because I think I'm sane. But in terms of big TV networks, Bill Maher has repeatedly pushed back on the social justice warriors, and he's actually defended things about Trump that should be defended.
Okay, so being against SJWs, that means good. That means you have a legitimate point of view. There's no type of other ulterior motives, nothing like that. Just, you're against SJWs, I'll give you a listen.
Well, of course, Bill Maher is very critical of Trump, doesn't like him, and has called for a recession. He's repeatedly been put in a position where he has to push back on how crazy many of these left-wing people have gotten. Our story for this segment...
Remember, crazy. It's crazy.
Liberal author Fran Lebowitz sparks outrage after claiming that Trump deserves to be handed over to the Saudis like journalist Jamal Khashoggi, and then having to backtrack.
Very inflammatory sounding. But, I when people say things, I sort of want to hear their tone of voice, where they're going with it. So I think he's going to play a clip here.
Now, before we get into the story, make sure you, if you'd like to, head over to timcast.com/donate if you want to support.
Give them your money, basically.
Support my work. There's an option for monthly donations. I have Bitcoin cryptocurrency, and I do have a physical address. I'm trying to do better at being, running a business. What happens and why? And so if you'd like to support me, you can do so there. But let's get back to the news and see what happened and why was Bill Maher once again put in this position. Now, I do want to stress, I have the video pulled up, and there's something very important about this interaction. This woman called for ending the life of the President of the United States, and people in the audience clap and cheer. And of course, Bill Maher is forced to push back.
That's right. Our hero, Bill Maher, stands up against all violence in the world. Our boy, Bill Maher. And remember, she's calling straight up calling for violence. And the crowd cheers.
The story says, Fran Lebowitz has sparked outrage after saying that President Trump deserves to be handed over to the Saudis to face the same treatment as Jamal Khashoggi, who had his life brutally ended. Very, 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 very terrifying way. The Liberal author and Vanity Fair contributing editor, who is 68, made the comments on Friday's edition of Real Time with Bill Maher as she discussed the Mueller report and potential impeachment proceedings against the commander-in-chief. When asked whether she believes Trump should face impeachment, Leibowitz responded, "Impeachment would just be the beginning of what he deserves, not even scratching the surface of what he deserves." She continued, "Whenever I think about this and what he really deserves, I think we should turn him over to the Saudis, his buddies, the same Saudis who got rid of that reporter Khashoggi. Maybe they could do the same for him."
You hear the tone of voice, the exaggeration, the hyperbole, the kill him bullshit like that. Yeah. What was the word I used? Shill? I think he might be more of a provocateur, as in, not only does his titles clickbait, but his voice fucking clickbaits, if that's possible.
I'm now going to play for you the clip, and you can hear the audience response.
Parental advisor warning, whatever it's called. You've been warned. This might hurt your feelings listening to this. It's so outrageous. Here we go.
The audience response is what was actually most shocking to me.
We should turn him over to the Saudis, his buddies, the same Saudis, who got rid of that reporter. Maybe they could do the same for him. I don't know.
It was.
Wow. Yes, that was her calling for the death of Donald Trump. Or it's her just being, why, I wish a fucking train hit him. Or, I wish this happened to him. If he got shot, who cares? I don't know. Some fucking exaggerated, facetious comment. Nothing to do with literally wanting him to die. Basically just wants him to go away. And I think it's like I would say it's like a New York style way. I would say, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here, I'm going to shoot you. Does he literally mean they're going to shoot him? I don't know. Maybe, in some parts. Maybe. But, once again, not only are his titles clickbait, his actual content is actually clickbaity. That's incredible. He's reached a new layer of it. Alright, so let's watch him piss and moan about this and exaggerate it as in it's some important moment in television history. Here we go.
It wasn't like the entire audience was doing a standing ovation or anything, but you actually hear people hooting and clapping at the idea. That's insane. And of course, later on in the show, Bill Maher had to push back. Social media was erupting with people actually saying she should face charges for that. Now, I don't know about that. I'm not a legal expert. But that's kind of crazy that on a mainstream television program, you have people calling to end the life of the president.
Now, all the people, well, some people that told me to look into, or told us to look into Tim Pool, it's really hitting home with comments like this. I see why people are like, is this guy secretly just a right-winger? Or is he secretly a Trump supporter? Right? Isn't this the guy that bitches about, oh, they don't like our language, so they try to censor us. And then when she says that, people on Twitter are bringing up, legal, repercussions for this. And I don't know if that's legal or not. I'm not a legal expert. Like, shouldn't you be like, no, they should not bring up fucking charges for this bullshit. Some chick on a HBO late night talk show, and bringing up charges against her for it. Shouldn't you be a little bit stronger in that direction? This is your thing, isn't it? Aren't you the guy who stood in front of Twitter and said, you're policing our language and you're banning conservatives? This is very weird. It gets worse, though. I'm already wasting too much time with this, but it gets worse.
I can't believe, listen, is this not enough? Okay, when I tell people, You know, when I was on Joe Rogan, I said, I think this is going to result in actual, serious conflict. It's escalating and nothing's being done to stop it. A lot of people roll their eyes and say, you're a doomsayer. I don't care.
They don't say you're a doomsayer, Tim. They say you're selling them a narrative so you can bring fans back to your channel. I think that's what a lot of people are saying. Oh, a civil war. There's going to be a civil war over this because of memes. I think that's why people are upset with your content. You're selling them a civil war rather than there being an actual thing going on. Here we go.
I don't care if you think I'm a doomsayer. When you have a liberal writer for a major publication appear on HBO Live with Bill Maher.
A liberal? Why isn't this an isolated... This is a human action, and we should be judging this just as the content we see. Instead, it's a liberal writer for a liberal magazine. You sound like whatever, the alt-right YouTubers, right, who say leftist after every fucking sentence.
And say something like that about the President of the United States.
The President of the United States. I thought this guy was like countercultural or something. Right? Oh, and by the way, we should send him there. No, we should do. We should strip Donald Trump of all his titles, color his skin like a light shade of brown, stick him in fucking Yemen, and then ask him if he wants to support the Saudi regime anymore. How about that? He wants to send him to Saudi Arabia in clickbait shit.
If people are going to cheer for that, you see where the rhetoric is taking us. To me, the signs have been clear for a while. Street violence, escalation, the rapid radicalization through social media.
Let me guess, it's coming any day soon, Tim. Any day it'll be here, the Civil War. If you really want to know about it, buy this book for $19.99 on Amazon. Tim Pool's memoirs, Life in the Streets. Get that and you'll know when the Civil War's coming.
Only going to get worse. That is not, however, why I'm building the van. A lot of people, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm on Instagram at Timcast. I've been posting photos of the van, and it looks awesome. For those that don't know, I am building a van for mobile production so that we can go on the road, and I can do more on-the-ground interviews, which I'm going to be doing a lot more on my Tim Pool channel. That's youtube.com/Timcast. Because I don't like doing the stodgy, like presenter format anymore. It's just the whole thing. There's got to be changes, so I'm trying to figure out what to do. But
yeah, just get your camera, go to random rallies, and watch, 20 people getting fistfights, and then say there's going to be a civil war coming. If you want more of this coverage, all you do is sign up for my... He's going to be selling mugs soon, I bet.
There's going to be a lot more on the ground connecting with real people, and it's partly due to things like this. Let me ask you this. You can comment. Do you think that the average American would agree with her? Who are these people in the...
If most people listen to it and think she's just being facetious, not being literal, then they'd be like, oh, okay, it's a funny joke, or it's a slap at Trump. Fuck, man. How do you not read? I don't know.
The audience cheering for something like this. And what's crazy to me is...
They've cheered for worse, but you don't cover that, do you?
I've never been a big fan of Trump. I understand the chaos vote where people say, they want to burn it down, so they vote for Trump. There were a lot of anarchist types that were advocating voting for Trump because, for one, Hillary is the machine. They don't want her to win. But the idea was that Trump would burn it all down. In fact, the economy is doing really great, so I don't know about that. But the chaos...
The economy's doing really great. For who, Tim? Are you just reading headlines and saying that? I don't know. So, the economy could be doing whatever. I have no idea. I suspect that it doesn't affect poor people when they say the economy's great or that jobs are up or whatever the fuck. Whatever bullshit statistics they throw at us. But whatever. We're bombing people in other countries halfway across the world. But, you know, economy's doing really great. You wonder why people look at you like, are you just a Trump supporter, but claiming to be a liberal or something, or moderate, whatever the fuck he says? I support Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang, and but the economy's doing really well under Trump, and Trump's going to win. That's when it gets worse. Wait for that.
Vote exists. Who are these people in the audience who are cheering for something like this, right? Because even someone like I would never go chaos.
They're Bill Maher fans. Even Bill Maher says, "Oh yeah, they laugh at anything." He literally said that on his show. I wish I had the clip, but I'm too lazy to do that for you.
Vote. I didn't vote for Hillary or Trump. I would have voted for Bernie, but on principle, I don't agree with everything he stands for, but it really is a principle thing, and this is why.
You know, socialism. He's a socialist. Please, Tim, more videos on Venezuela and how socialism doesn't work. Please, we need more of that. Some excellent journalism.
Why I've been a big fan of Tulsi Gabbard, and I'm even more so as of late. I don't want to get into too much of that stuff, but Tulsi is very principled.
Why not? I don't even know what that means. They're principled, but you don't agree with their policy, but they're principled. I don't know what the fuck that means, and hasn't he been railing against like Venezuela and socialism, and Bernie wants free college and free healthcare, but he's principled. The fuck does that mean if you're not following the policy? I'm tripping, man. Let's move on.
And Andrew Yang is very studious and prepared. I think, you know, unfortunately.
What the freak? What the hell? He's very studious and prepared. What the fuck does that mean? What are we talking about here? Holy shit. Like, Sam Harris is very studious and prepared. Doesn't mean anything. What the freak? Who is this guy, man? This dude's a plant or something, man. I'm tripping. Here we go.
Unfortunately, the media doesn't like either of them, but Yang is doing really well. Ultimately, the
what
point is,
the freak?
I'm somebody who's looking for a Tulsi or a Yang. I don't like Trump, but my God, how crazy has it gotten that on HBO someone would say something like this? Now, naturally, they had to push back because, I mean, that's a crazy comment. It's bordering on illegal. They say
he speaks very good English. And,
swiftly backtracked on her comments later in the program after learning she was receiving criticism on social media. She said, "I didn't realize that I had said that. I had 12 cups of coffee. I regret saying it. I did not mean it, and I regret saying it. No, I disagree. Listen."
Hey, Tim, you ever think people say things and they're like, this won't look good? Like in a PR sense of thinking. Like, oh, this doesn't look so good. Let me take it back or apologize. Even though their intentions weren't anything so bad. It actually came off as more of a joke. You know? I mean, I'm like that. I'll say jokes where I don't have an expression after I say it. Does that make sense? Where I'm not giggling after I say the joke. I just, say it like it's a matter-of-fact thing. I don't know why I'm explaining jokes right now. Anyways, here we go.
I will always accept someone's apology. Be it a BuzzFeed writer like we saw recently, be it Joey Salads. I will absolutely say, I accept, let's move on. But I absolutely have to point out, in this instance, she thought about what she was saying. It's not something that she just came up with off the top of her head. She understood the idea about Saudis, Trump, his allegiances, what they did to Khashoggi.
We really need to defend Trump. We really do. The SJWs are coming, and they want civil war. So we need to defend our president, Donald J. Trump. And he's going to win. He's going to win in 2020.
And she said that. To me, it sounds like she harbors these feelings. Now, of course, I think this is good that she's realizing how she crossed the line. And public pushback is a really good thing in this circumstance. But I'd like to stress, I do feel like this sentiment is expanding. It's escalating.
I don't know. My full of shit meter is going off. Like, in my mind, I think if he watched this video I'm doing right now, he'd approach me and apologize to me. That's how bad I think it is. I'm sorry you feel that way. Like, that type of shit. It's like, fuck, man. Like, where do you stand in the world? He's where's your principles, Tim?
I'm going to stress it one more time. This is HBO. Bill Maher and a Vanity Fair writer said they want the president, harmed in this way. To me, that's insane. I mean, look at what Kathy Griffin did. When I say like the rhetoric is escalating, let me ask you something.
This is like, I don't know. This sounds like propaganda for Trump to help Trump out. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm saying this is all just natural reaction. These are all the thoughts running in my mind right now. Here we go.
Trump is going to win 2020. I'm not.
Yeah. How long was that? 2 seconds? A second, maybe. I kick play. Trump he's going to win in 2020. Why, Tim? Why? Because socialism is bad, but he's principled, right? But it's still socialism, and blah blah blah. And Joe Biden's winning by 80 points. It's about 90% to 2 in favor of Joe Biden. I don't question the polls. They come from the SJW network of CNN, yet I don't question the polls at all. Just let them be the way they are. Because there's a civil war happening, and Trump's going to win 2020. Shit.
But, I was planning on doing some kind of video about the Australian elections. For those that haven't heard, the centre-right party won what was considered to be an unwinnable election for them. It was supposed to go swiftly to the left, the Labour Party. People are saying it's Brexit and Trump all over again. Trump is going to win 2020. It's possible he doesn't. I'm not a seer or anything. I'm not Nostradamus. I don't whether or not. Okay, that was a dumb analogy. Not like the guy could actually see the future, but I'm not someone who can predict the future. I'm just looking at the evidence. I'm looking at the polls being wrong over and over and over again, and Trump winning.
Didn't he just use the polls to say Joe Biden's winning by 30 points over Bernie Sanders? I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. But I think he said something like that.
Trump keeps winning. I'm sorry, the right, the nationalists, the right that keeps winning. So Trump's going to win. The economy's doing really well. The polls are always wrong. What do you think these people are going to do when Trump wins another term?
Dude, all right, I'm done. This sounds like propaganda for Trump. Maybe he's Q. He's QAnon to shill out shit for Trump victory. The economy's doing very well. You would think if someone brought up Saudi Arabia, they'd bring up Yemen. Like, I just do that naturally. Just nothing here from this guy. just leftist tears. And, alright, that's it for me. That's enough of this. Maybe I do another video on this guy. But this is just random watching his video, and I'm like, I feel like I should shit on this guy. It's all in good fun. Or is it? Maybe it's not. Alright, please subscribe if you feel like. Always comment, agree, disagree. Please let me know. Hey, make sure Tim sees this. We don't have to. But if you want to, go ahead. We might not want to. If you want to. I don't know. I think so. I'm sure, but I don't know. Donate to Devin's Journey to Recovery. Link in the description box. Website in the intro to this video. Please donate. With all that said, please, or maybe, think about it. Give this video a thumbs down or a thumbs up, but a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.